still. And this is going to be good. This is for Britain, episode 197. And if you can hear an echo, it's not me. Welcome to the show, and we say good morning to Tish. Morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen.
All right, okay. Right, we're waiting for Peter and Stephen to join us, and then we can get underway. Incredibly, this is Blabbing for Britain, episode 197. Hopefully. It is. There you are, it's official. I'll leave that there for a second or two and change the screen display so we can see it clearer. And Tish is saying good morning, John.
Good morning.
Right. Tish, can you hear an echo? Okay, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all. We've got plenty of topics for today, and I suppose we'd best get underway. John's refusing to turn his microphone.
It's not mine. I'm telling you now. We haven't changed anything at my end. This is getting silly, this is. I seem to be getting the blame, but I haven't changed anything. So, where are Peter, Stephen, and Stephen? Stephen's gone. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's not mine. I'm telling you now. We haven't changed anything at mine.
Hello?
Hello.
Hold on, Right, that's me just then. I had a problem finding the link today.
I had to go back to last week to find the link.
I couldn't find the link. So, anyway. Well, there's no point in going on about it, but I've got an echo. It doesn't matter. It must be the system, not us. There's no point in going on about it. What's happening?
Morning, John.
Wow.
Good morning.
Morning, John.
Good morning.
Hi, Stephen. Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear both of you. Hello, both of you. I can also hear quite a bit of crackling.
Oh, here. Every week we've got an echo.
You two have a talk for a moment, and can Tish see if there's an echo?
Stephen Silk, how are you? I don't think you can hear me. Stephen, can you hear me? He's not hearing me, John.
Well, I muted my mic to see if that was the echo.
Right. Steve.
Can you hear me, Stokey Steve? I don't think he can hear either of us.
Refresh. I think it's the system. I think it's the carrier, not us.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
This is ridiculous. It's every week. Well, I don't want to come onto the system every week and all we do is talk about echoes. Right, let's just bear through it, John. The coffee and work through it. Because it's only us that can hear each other by the looks of it.
so you can't hear me. Oh, right.
Yes. Yeah.
When I'm not talking, I've been muting my mic.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let's just carry on. Just deal with the echo until Be Live sorts it out, I would think. So what's in your agenda today, John?
I don't know what's in the agenda today. I wish Stephen had come back and we could have a find out then.
Right. I've got to say, I was doing the first talk show this week as well, and it kept breaking up. This is unworkable, guys. John, you don't put on your mute anymore. Just keep it unmuted. Otherwise, you're breaking up and it takes ages for you to come back in and speak.
Hello.
Hello.
Ha ha. It works.
Right. Okay. Right, Stephen Salt, can you hear me?
Beautifully, Stephen. Whatever your name is.
Peter, yeah. Right. We've all got an echo. Let's just live through it just now.
Spoken like a true leader.
Oh, I'm in a leading mood today, I can tell you that much. Yeah.
And what are you so enthusiastically leading then, mate?
Well, the business, because for the past few days I've been up and I've been out the door at 7 in the morning, showing that I can do the job, out doing it, letting people know I'm doing it. And today that I heard of a problem because of a time issue getting into a place. I says, right, I'm going to wait to sort that out right now. Who told you couldn't get on to 11? Okay, it's as simple as this. If we don't get on it before 11, I don't want to do the work anymore. End of. Ball's in their court now. And what else have I sorted the world out with? Yeah, I'm just fresh, and I've put an advert out. And when people, why is it when people look at adverts, it said part-time operator required? If you cannot do this work part-time with any extra hours, do not apply. And then they phone up and say, oh, is it not a full-time job? You failed. You can't read. Anyway, next.
Well,
your turn to speak.
I'm talking to you from the lovely Keele University Smart Innovation Hub, which is...
Yeah, but why are you walking about?
Fabulous place. I'm trying to get to a situation where the iPad can look at me quite properly. But we're here today at the... You see, I've bought a plant in today. This is live broadcasting for you, chaps.
Yeah, but don't make us sick.
There's the plant.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's a beautiful day here in Newcastle-under-Lyme, Keele. So just thought you'd like that little bit of...
Okay, thank you very much. Now, could you get the iPad steady for us, please? I feel the storm in a ship. Oh, no.
You are a shit man.
Snooze. Right. I'm hearing you okay, Stephen. And what mic are you using? Is it just the iPad?
Just the iPad Pro.
Okay. And you don't have earphones in? You don't have earphones in? See, is it frozen again? John, would you like to come back on? No sound. Have you no sound?
Right. I was listening to you and I was muted by the host.
Right, okay.
Now, do you have an echo? Now I'm back on.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay, I'm going to disappear for a minute or two.
Okay. And leave me on my own. You got that look on your face. Are you back? No sound.
Okay.
At your back.
Something's changed, and John wouldn't accept it, that you need to wear earbuds now. So
Yeah.
I had to make a point. Right, okay. So we can hear each other. Our sound is good, and it is important because John and I have got a show at 4 o'clock today, and if there's echoes on it for the second time, then we might as well not bother. Okay, back to the agenda. And the first topic this week is it's been proposed that snacking on public transport be banned. So no restaurant carriage on a train, no snacking on buses, no snacking on public transport. Do you? I mean, I don't. I mean, I take sandwiches on a train, buy a drink on a train, but they're saying no ban snacking on public transport.
Unless in like in a designated, like a train. I can't. A train from Aberdeen to London. Do you think I'm not going to eat?
Well, see. I knew there'd be a good reason for actually having these restaurant cars on trains, because some journeys are, as you say, from Aberdeen down to London is a fair trek, and you do need to eat. So it just
here's the thing though. When you go into the big restaurant cinemas, they say you can't bring in your own food. You've got ours. It'll be £30 for popcorn. Thank you very much.
Oh, they do. I mean, it's a rip-off, isn't it? Cinemas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could understand it. Right here, but sometimes right. I'll tell you what I do: ban all things like Coca-Cola advertising, no crisp advertising, nothing, absolutely nothing. Let's just be plain and not have any sugar products. And then folk will say, "Where's our income revenue coming? Oh, we don't advertise anymore. People have stopped buying it. You want a carrot?"
Yeah. We'll all end up vegan, Peter. And
I've got to say, I'm on a low carb, high fat diet, as you know, and I've never felt so good. I've never felt so sharp. Sugar is the big problem. But why are they wanting to ban the snacking? What's the reason for
obesity? They're trying to reduce intake of what are foods which are empty calories. So you're just eating and not getting. We've got John back. Let's see what. I've got a picture of John's office back. They're desperately trying to stop the obesity crisis that we have by trying to encourage people not to eat snacks.
Well, I actually totally agree with it. And where does it start? It should start at schools when people are young, and it be. Keep young and beautiful. It's your duty to be beautiful. Keep young and beautiful. You remember that?
Yeah, I've got the time now, Pete. I'm just making sure you don't go with 30 seconds.
No, I haven't. No, it's 10 seconds. No, listen, it's well past the thing for that anyway. What do you call it? Yeah. Anyway, but listen, it's true. It starts at the school, right?
Yeah.
It starts at school. It starts in people's home. People have got to be better educated because we've got a diabetes epidemic, and I'm one of them. I was a sloth, right? Learn from me. And what we need is rationing for a while, like they did. Now, when Brexit comes, we'll maybe have to do rationing, and it'll do the world a good.
No, the Brexit's coming up later, Peter.
Okay, I know, but I just thought I'd mention that with rationing.
John?
Can you hear me this time?
Yes.
Do we have an echo? No.
I don't know. Do you have an echo?
No, we don't have an echo.
No.
Right. I think the problem is the Logitech software.
All right.
Okay.
Because that's the only other thing that's changed recently. However, I'm on a completely different PC because I'm in the kitchen, as I think you can see.
We can see a different venue, yes. Yeah, so there we are. Problem solved. All good. Right, John, we've just been talking about banning snacking on public transport. What's your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't really use public transport. I can't tell you when I last went on a buzz, as we call it in Birmingham. But I do use the train into the city centre. But I mean, it's a 16-minute journey, so I don't see what the benefits are. I don't see that many people who snack during train journeys.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know, it's amazing how some people say, oh, I don't like you eating next to me. I don't like you standing smoking next to me in the street, sir. Everybody's got their bit in life that they don't want other people doing. Yeah, sir, I don't want you standing next to me with a cold blowing and coughing all the time, sir. You should be at home. Why don't we be like a Japanese and wear something over your face?
Can you put me down? There's somebody at the bloody front door now.
Okay.
Put him down and never come back.
We've got a comment from Tish, which is pertinent, Peter. Come on, what's the big deal if he sang for just 30 seconds, or if it was less than that? Yeah. The thing we've got to be wary of, we're not the only ones watching this show, Tish.
No.
And there are Facebook computers watching this show, and if they pick up a lyric, because Peter's a good singer, he can hold a tune. And the problem is, if Facebook recognizes that tune, they're going to say, that's copyrighted, you can't do that, and take the show off. In worse scenarios, they could actually take the page down. So we're not willing to risk it. If you do a 30-second snippet, there are no problems at all. If you do longer than that,
and that's why we've even got to watch what we say politically.
Oh, we've been listened to, yeah.
It could put the page down. It could put the page down. So
if we went off on a topic, and
we've got to be very left wing in our thinking.
I don't think that could be true. All right, and now this is something I don't understand the full mechanism of this, but the USA is saying it didn't approve Turkey's Syria offensive, and Mike Pompeo, Defense Secretary of the USA, is saying that they didn't approve it. Now, as I understand it, when President Trump said we're withdrawing troops, they only withdrew 24 troops. It's all a bit foggy. If anybody's getting the idea of what's going on, and Kelly's saying, Peter, you need TikTok, Peter.
What's TikTok?
It's yes. What is TikTok? It's a platform, bit like Facebook, but it's not Facebook, and you can go and sing on there to your heart's content.
Oh yeah.
It's a karaoke site basically. If I'm wrong, Kelly, please say.
I used to do one called what was it? Very good. Pal Talk. It was very good.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I used to use that.
That's good before it went.
So I didn't know there was 24, but I'll tell you what, this morning, funnily enough, I watched a very emotional video clip that President Trump gave about troops coming home in coffins. And boy, did it hit home. No? Suggest you go and look at it. And I think President Trump's just said, we're not the world's policemen now, we're our troops.
Well, the USA and the UK have been the world's policemen for a long time.
Your thoughts?
We aren't big enough to be the world's policemen anymore.
Who? Us. We're not asking us. Other people can take a turn. Maybe that's your new European army, but we'll be able to do it in the future.
Right, let's stay with America at the moment. Okay. And we know there was the fatal crash, which involved a young man named Harry Dunn.
Yes.
And they have said who they think did it, and it was a lady who was driving the car on the wrong side of the road. And that lady claimed diplomatic immunity and flew back to the United States. And our premier is, Boris is saying that they should return her to the UK.
Well, the thing is, it's been... Sorry, on you go, John.
I think this issue is much more complicated. Okay. I think she has been removed to the States to protect what her husband does. After all, it's a secret place that she was outside of and where her husband works.
Yes. There's more to it than meets the eye, but his name's out there now.
Okay.
Even if we said, look, you're not going to be jailed, come back and stand up and say, yes, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm truly sorry. How's my insurance details?
Okay. Right. Okay. Now on to some good news for those who's old enough. The headlining at the Glastonbury Festival will be Diana Ross. Diana Ross and Supremes. That brings back memories.
Nice.
Will she be able to get across the fields with her walking frame?
No,
Come on, she's that old now.
She's only 75. Cool. Dear me. All right then. Anyway, just to say, good luck, Diana, at Glastonbury 2020. Not that she's watching, but you never know. Okay, let's get into politics for a moment then. Now, our Parliament at the moment is not sitting. It's coming back again next week, and they've decided they're actually going to sit on Saturday. Now, this is the only third Saturday they've sat since the 1940s, and they're coming back to talk about, well, what else can they talk about? They're talking about Brexit.
And who's we? Who are they? Is it all the anti-Brexiteers are coming in?
No, 650 MPs are going to be sitting in Parliament for the day on a Saturday, talking about Brexit.
Why?
Because Boris asked them to.
Oh, he's asked them to.
And
you know something? They've had quite a few days to do that. But when I looked at Parliament recently, it was empty.
It was empty because they were actually proroguing it, and it was closing down. That's why there was nobody there.
No, when they opened up again.
Yeah.
And Friday, they were away. They were gone. I was hardly in it. I watch these things.
Yeah.
If it was that bad, we should have sat every day. I don't care if you're going on holiday. I don't care what you're doing. You will cancel it and you will get in and get this country sorted. End of.
I've been taking over 3 years. They're now going to decide it in a day if it's not decided for us. And coincidentally, we don't know whether it's coincidence or not, but on Saturday the 19th, there is another march in London on the same day. And the team that you see below me now will be there and we'll be marching. I'm going to say this, Peter. We're marching to remain in Europe.
Well, don't waste your shoe leather.
No, it's a day out where you actually get to meet people of like mind, and you get your 10,000 steps in, and you make a point. And because Parliament is sitting, then it's going to make it. It really will be, a day which may change the course of history for the UK.
You've got a problem. You might not get there. The climate change people might not let you get through.
Now, just I want to come on to them. Right, so I am genuinely looking forward to the 19th and actually being there. What's this organisation called? That's in
Rebellion Extinction.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they are the biggest. Well, I'm not going to say it because it's before the watershed. What are your thoughts about them?
Well, they've even upset Dan Nelson, and you couldn't find a more earthy person if you tried, could you?
Not really. I mean, we have in Wiltshire, we've got white horses, which are chalk drawn. Some of them are very old and some of them are quite young, but it is one of the sites of Wiltshire. And this organisation, whose name I won't mention because I've forgotten it, decided that they would put their symbol in the middle of the white horse.
Yeah.
Now, this white horse had been refurbished by local school children.
Yeah.
They'd spent ages getting it pristine and white again. And then these oiks come along and they deface it and even upset Dan Nelson. And as John said, he's quite a chilled gentleman. And it's just
it turns out that it's not paint, though.
Indeed, it's coats. Or
it's rags,
Rags, yeah.
But nonetheless, I still think it's immoral.
Right? This is my view. Let them be martyrs. Well done, sir. You've done your bit. Go to jail for 5 years, sir. Next. Bring the next one in. Well done, sir. Shit, they'll be proud of you. 5 years. But I'm a teacher. I don't care. Get to jail. You've done your bit. You broke the law. You broke the law. Somebody else got jailed for taking photographs and things outside a court. You have blocked roads. You've cost us a lot. And do you know what I was? I was a meat porter. I would take a big cow
but hang on.
With the blood dripping from it and say, "Hi, veggies." Anyway,
okay.
I'm sympathetic with some of your viewpoint, but your comparison is wrong, because he was jailed for contempt of court, not for taking the photos.
Are they not contempt of us?
Right, but you're comparing someone doing something you object to someone who was subject to a court order not to do things. They're not quite the same, Pete.
But when that person was arrested, he was arrested for something else to begin with, and they kept changing the charge. But we're not allowed, we better drop that bit because we won't be here much longer.
No, I agree with your first part of your rant, Peter, because it's affecting people in London. It's affecting business in London. It's totally and utterly over the top. I mean, a one-day march through London to get the point across, I can agree with. But the things that they're doing at the moment, to actually say we're going to 2-week occupation, no, I'm not for it.
They think they're above the law. Do you know,
they're losing support.
I was speaking to a guy in Aberdeen, an ex-teacher, bumped into him, and I was just chatting. He says, "Oh, he was a religious education teacher," and he says, "Do you know, my son's a policeman in London. He's only getting up for a couple of days. Told him he's got to be back as soon as possible."
Yeah,
they're taking up the resources for people that should be getting arrested.
Welcome back, Stephen.
Hello.
They cannot complain about any cause whatsoever now. They'll just take and say, "Hey, listen, if you can do it for them, we'll do it for us. We'll be taking over for somebody else. Will have to. Hey, it's our turn for 2 weeks. My turn. That'll be it."
Welcome back, Stephen. We're talking about the occupation in London. What are your thoughts?
Hi, it's all to do with the context within which they're protesting, isn't it? Really, and I don't really. I've been bamboozled by Peter's rants, which true to form, based in nothing approaching reality. 5 years in prison for walking on the street in the wrong way and looking at a policeman askance. I'm sure that's right, Pete. I don't know, mate. I just don't know. It's like everything, I don't know much about what's going on because nobody can tell me what people are actually thinking and doing, and it just doesn't make sense. So all I can do is focus on my family, my business, and crack on with that. I'm sorry that sounds defeatist, but we can't affect anything.
Yeah.
Even the extinction people are just a momentary blip in the way in which things are going, and their main purpose in life is to annoy Peter, I think. So
well, it's working.
We'll have no 10 times somebody was asked on TV the other day, was it TV? Do you have a television? And they wouldn't answer. Do you have a television? It uses electricity. Do you walk here? Do you walk there? No, you've got a car.
Yeah.
Do you use an electric bike? You'll have to plug it in with electricity.
Double standards.
Double standards.
Yeah. Unless they go and live in a forest in a wooden house with a brook running by it.
I've cut my arm. I've chopped my arm off in the woods, keeping tree hugging.
Change of topic. I think we need to change of topic. We need something that we can't argue about. Okay, and this is the triumph of technology. And sorry, John, full fibre shows the way. Yeah. Right. This backstory to this is that Hull is the first city to be totally wired, and they're getting John's 1 gigabit bandwidth. The whole
I
city.
wish I got 1 gigabit.
Well, yeah, okay, you're getting close. It's basically it used to be a private telephone network, Kingston Telecommunications. Wasn't part of BT. It then became a private company called KCOM, and they have fibre all the way through the city. Now the difference is simple. BT have boxes which have got fibre, and John will correct me if I'm totally wrong. BT have got fibre going to boxes in areas throughout the town, and then it's copper wire from the box to your house. And it's that bit, it's the copper wires to the house, which is stopping us all having gigabit internet.
The best you can get out of that is 167 megabits. That's out of BT's current structure. 1 gigabit from Virgin is on trial in Cambridge. 200 plus houses in Cambridge. Then you've got rural broadband from a variety of different organisations subsidised by the government, which my client has in Western Sub-Edge, which is a tiny little village in the middle of bloody Gloucestershire. Well, no, the northern of Gloucestershire. And he's got 300 up, 300 down. Yeah. And it's cheaper than Virgin.
Right. Now our Prime Minister has said he wants it by 2025 that we'll all be fully fibred. British Telecom said there's a slight problem with that. They're actually doing one household every 30 seconds, every day of the week. And they will take, if they had to meet his target, they would have to be able to do a house every 8 seconds. Yeah. So it's just logistics. They just don't have the manpower to actually go out and do it.
Well, what they should do is not be greedy and pass it on to other people too, so they don't have a monopoly.
Yeah, but it's all about where the fibre ends. Yeah. BT's way is the cheapest because it ends in a box. In fact, the box is outside my next door neighbour's front wall. But from there, it's twin copper. Yeah. Virgin's current is fibre to just inside your house, and then it's coaxial from that to your wherever you've got your router. Yeah. But their 1 gigabit is fibre all the way to the router. And that's what also this rural broadband does, the 300 up, 300 down. That is fibre to the router.
Yeah. I was speaking to a guy at my business club, and he was saying that it's all going to be fibre just shortly. All fibre.
Yeah, but it's what type of fibre, yeah?
To be honest, I'm quite
the fibre end. If you've got as many customers as BT, you cannot afford to run fibre to the router. It's just not financially viable unless you charge an extortionate amount for it.
Yeah. I know that I've got the last core in the street. I put in a second phone line, and I've got the last core. Nobody else can get another phone in now. But listen, I'm happy with what I've got, apart from Be Live. Get yourself sorted out because you keep knocking us out.
No, we sorted that one, Peter. It was it's Logitech camera software.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know, but I should try coming in from the other machine. On my laptop.
But sometimes John froze for a minute there. I just don't think it's John's.
Okay.
I think. But having said that, I've got 5 green bars just now.
So have I.
Yeah, so it's good. What's happening with Stephen Silk?
He's meditating.
I'm listening to the discussion.
Right. Okay.
I'm getting ready to jump in and pummel your.
Well, I had an unfortunate. I done my show the other night with a guy from France, and I done my trial. I done my test page, which was good, and we're getting fine. And when I come back in, it wouldn't let me change the page I was going to. From the test page to my other page, the Pest Talk page, and I was talking to Be Live people. Type, I said, "Oh, we need to get this done." But I eventually got it done, so I'm going to have to learn how to get rid of the cache or something like that. But I've done it another way, so we got there. I was disappointed in the show because for how big my industry is, and a lot of people complain and moan about this, and I try to put something on for them, nobody turned up. Broke my heart.
I did a show on Tuesday morning with Matt Phillips, and Matt is a sports injury. He runs a sports injury clinic, and he's the guy that people go to when they can't get a solution from other sources. He's the backstop. He's the last resort. He's the doctor, medic of medics, and he's got a conference going on in the end of this month in Brighton, and he's got 10 sports injury specialists, all from around the world, all coming to Brighton over the course of 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, 30th and 31st. And what he did, and this is God's truth, he approached Be Live, because he loves Be Live and he promotes it everywhere, and said, "Can you help me?" And Be Live said, "Yes, of course we can help you." So Irene said, "Can you have a chat with Matt about what he's doing?" And I did the interview with him, and very few people watched us, Peter.
I know, it's such a shame, is it?
Yeah. So it's you've got to be doing a show regularly, I think.
Yeah, it's all. I think I'll tell you. Have you heard of Anna Breeze?
I have a feeling we're about to.
Have you heard of a sister called Gail Smith?
Anna Breeze, right? Now, she's starting to teach people how to become citizen journalists, basically, and tell their story that the mainstream media won't touch. She's ex-BBC, and I think she's ex-ITV, and she's had enough. So she's setting up courses and taking people, she's running courses and showing people how to use social media, and it's quite interesting. And the guy that was on Panorama, him that chased the Scientologists and things. He's just left the BBC after 17 years due to a confrontation he had, and he's set up his own channel. So Anna Breeze, look her up, and she's getting very well known on Twitter, and she's using Twitter to get her message across, and she's building up courses, and it's quite amazing. So have a look up there, and it's the time of the citizen journalist now. Oh, cut me off, please.
All right. Now, I'm trying to find a topic, Stephen, that actually sort of gets you involved. Okay. And
let me give you a topic.
You're the farthest north of any of us, really, in England. Sorry.
This is the Smart Innovation Hub at Keele University. Brand new building, sponsored by the Denise Coates Foundation. And it's purpose-built innovation hub at the university. It's the business school are moving in as well. And it's all absolutely spiffing. Now, I've been in here for a week and 2 days, and I bloody love it. But the sort of quality of the accommodation isn't the only thing. And I showed it earlier on. Here's another viewing of the plant I brought in. Now, it's not about the building. As ever, with these sort of university projects, because that's what it is, it's about supporting local business. Now, can you see me, or am I just talking to myself?
I can see you.
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah.
But you are he misread that. Because he was the only person on screen, he thought he was the only person here.
And it's the best I've ever heard of him. What a shame he got cut off.
Well, at least we got a view of Keele University.
He seems to be the only one in the building now.
Well, he did say it's just open, so he's a pioneer. And Claire's saying, lovely new officer, Stephen. I hope he comes back. That's the problem when you put somebody full screen. They think everybody else has disappeared, but they haven't. Okay, let's find something else to agree on. Okay, now, he's back. I mean, we can explain to him first.
Okay.
Welcome back, Stephen.
How much of that didn't you see?
In order that we could see it all, yeah, I put you full screen, just you. So we saw everything.
He's frozen.
You were never alone. We were watching. It was a glorious Technicolor. Keele University, glorious Technicolor. Claire is saying, because Claire saw it, and Claire is saying, lovely new officers, Stephen. And
Cool.
Kelly is saying, download 40. Oh, it's just his figures are 45 down and 11 up. Not on fire, but it's in the front street. So there's hope for Kelly. Yep. So you were never not on screen, is what I'm trying to say.
But it's lovely here. It's just lovely.
Has
And what I
anybody
didn't
else
say was,
moved in?
pardon?
I said, has anybody else moved in
Yeah,
yet?
four other companies so far.
And is it a giant open plan office?
What I'm in is what's known as a co-worker space. So consider it hot desking on steroids. So I've got access to all the facilities. When I'm more successful, which these guys are committed to helping, then I'll move into one of the actually smaller offices, but it's a sort of more private, so to speak. Although we've got private offices to use, quiet rooms to use, and we can hire, and we get a certain amount of free hire of meeting rooms, just about everything you could think of in terms of, and it's all about incubation of the businesses. Really, it's just fab.
And you find it's good to go and meet people, Stephen?
Oh God, yes, absolutely. I mean, you all know what it's like at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm here at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning, there's always people around. You've got the lecturers and students use this building as well from the business school, and indeed the businesses that I've met here. You've got the water cooler moments. You've got the social interaction, which
and I think
which beats the that the kitchen's rather close, I'll cook some breakfast, or it's rather close, I'll cook some make some coffee, or the telly's on over there, I think I'll go and watch Jeremy Carr. You know what I mean? So it really is about social interaction.
Focus.
Yeah.
I've never felt so good. I'm up to prove people. The other day I was at 7:10 and I was out at a place called Turf Fence out Aberdeen. In fact, the guy I used to work for, I was beside his house, and I was sharp. Today, my guy was meant to pick me up at 7:30. I jumped in my van and I was away down, phoned him up. I says, where are you? Because it was 22. Where are you? Oh, I'm just coming around the bend. You're too late. You're late. I'm down the road before you. I'm here at the customer. I've never been so sharp and for a long, long time. And I've enjoyed meeting the customers. I got here, by the way, I got sum up, right? First customer I used. And I woke up at 2:50 this morning. And it was £216 it cost. 2:50, I looked at the sum up history, it come up. I charged her £2.16. I'll be back on the phone. But so no, it's good to get out. Do you wish you'd done it before even?
Yes.
I think it'll do you the world of good, and you'll probably get more customers.
Say again?
You'll probably get more customers.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. Yes, it's all primed and ready to go, and we already are going. I mean, it's it's almost like I'm moving from what I've been called a lifestyle business. So just doing bringing in what I want to bring in.
Yeah.
And the next challenge I've got is to turn it into multiply the revenue by about 5 times, which I've got a plan to do. So it becomes what you might call a proper not SME, maybe an SME, certainly a micro business for sure.
Yes.
But it's just
Difference is when you've got a leisure business, which is what mine has been for 20 years. I have nothing to sell. If you build a business, you'll have something to sell.
That's right.
That's true, yeah, but that's not why. That's not like you. I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it for my family, for my local friends, and giving something back. And it's so much different from. You'll be aware that there's all sorts of mentor advice available, and investors are willing to come and help you out. And at the end of the day, they're not the people for us, or for me anyway. I want somebody who helps, and I found it at the uni, somebody who understands that from a small business, having big business advice is just a waste of time. They don't understand the pressures, the fact that we're doing everything, whether it's HR, finance, IT, and then the business to run or the products to build. But
Keeping the tax man and the VAT man happy.
I just got my VAT bill. I nearly fainted.
Well, I deregistered from VAT about 18 months ago, something like that, because it just wasn't appropriate for my customers. Why would they pay 20% more for my products and services? And I didn't have much input VAT. But it's been absolutely amazing. I was always told, you have to be VAT registered to do business by some people, and it's not true. As long as you're providing the value to the customer, it doesn't matter how big or small you are. It's about the value.
Dependent on the client, though. I mean, when I first started, one of my clients was Land Rover, just a couple of thousand yards from the house. But they would not deal with me unless I was VAT registered. So I VAT registered when I got started.
I did that with Rolls Royce about 15 years ago. I had to register for VAT for Rolls Royce in Derby.
And I'm still VAT registered today. I don't do anything like the minimum turnover.
What that should have got up and say, small businesses are being cut out. See your local MP. Small businesses are getting cut out because they're not VAT registered. Discrimination. That's what that is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 20 years ago when I first started.
Even today, I'm well over the VAT threshold now for a while, so I've got to do it. But when I got my VAT bill in, I just fainted. I went, oh no. It's just because, again, we had a busy season. But no, I can...
That for me means that I get a little boost every quarter because there's always some left over after I've paid the VAT man.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And Claire...
Right, it's nice to see you, though, Stephen Silk.
Pardon?
Yeah. It's nice to see you back because you've been missing.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. It's lovely to be back.
Good. And Claire is saying I'm co-working in one of my local coffee shops.
That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Back to topics that we can sort of look at. And the next topic is this. I'm just going to change the layout for a moment. Right. What's your town centre like, John?
Very modern.
So
all the old stuff got knocked down.
Right.
We do not suffer from tons and tons of empty shops. If you go into our town centre, you might find 4, 5 empty shops. But it's because we're a premium place to live and to shop. So.
You're on about Solihull?
Yeah. Yes. Of course, man. It's either the best or the second best or the third best place to live, depending on which way the wind's blowing, according to the polls that they run.
And how is Stoke, Stephen?
Hanley is the biggest of the 5 towns of Stoke-on-Trent. And if I was to say that it was on its arse, then you'd get an idea. It's a horrible place to visit as a sort of city centre. It's really not pleasant at all. Now, there's money coming in from investment coming in, but it's on the sort of outskirts of the town.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a horrible. It's just my opinion, of course, but it's a horrible place to visit, so to speak. Although, having said that, I'm going to the museum in Hanley on Saturday with my grandkids because there's a big Apollo 50 years exhibition there. So I'm going to take the kids there and have a bit of fun with them.
But you do have some premium places as well. I mean, you are the home of Alton Towers, for instance.
Well, but that's not Stoke. That's Staffordshire.
Well, Stoke is the nearest town, isn't it?
It may well be, yeah.
And
okay, I've just got to pop off, and I'll come back soon. Cheers, guys.
Okay, cheers, Peter. How are the shops in Aberdeen doing?
Oh, it's interesting you say that. I went down a place called the George Street the other day, and I was so disappointed.
Why so?
The whole place, it used to be one of the hive of activities. People would have to brush past each other when I was a young boy. And coming down George Street, absolutely empty. Every second shop was shut. And then there was all different nationality shops in the area. Full of also, what do you call it? Oxfam type shops, PDSA shops, charity shops, bookmakers, but really quiet. And then I went through the city centre to the other shops, which were quiet. But there's only one place in Aberdeen that's got a hive of activity, and they've captured it all themselves. So, for instance, you can come off the train from Aberdeen. The train station's right there. You walk in, you can go for your breakfast, and then you can go and buy a paper.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a cup of coffee in Costa or Starbucks, whichever one you choose. You can do some shopping there. You can then go in. You can get a nail spa done, a nice spa.
Mm.
You can then go to the pictures, and then you can come back out, have a main meal at night, all in this box, and then you could then go back on the train, and you've never stepped out onto Aberdeen City.
Frightening. Right, and a couple of comments from Kevin. Kevin's saying that lots of empty shops in Essex, and also big chains often running a percentage of their shops at a loss. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Harrogate is a spa town. It's sort of it's a tourist town as well. Is Harrogate? My son used to live there, so I visited many times. It's a beautiful place, and it's good to hear that they've actually got the shopping going again.
Mm-hmm. So what happened there? What's the story?
I just read the headlines, Peter.
Okay. No,
in this particular instance.
My friend who runs Yes Group in the West Midlands actually went on Sunday to Harrogate as a treat for his lad's 16th birthday. It's what he wanted. He wanted to go to Harrogate. And they went to Betty's, which is what Harrogate is famous for, Betty's tea shop.
Indeed.
And there was over 300 people queuing to get in. It was literally down the road and round the corner. Wow. So they didn't get to Betty's.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to have been there, and it is a corner shop. So best cakes in the land, best tea in the land, of course. Just a moment, Stephen's back. Let's go full screen for Stephen as he announces.
It's got to be
This is one of the highlights of Stoke-on-Trent. It's the 7th to the 9th of November, and it's the Stoke Beer and Cider Festival. So I know you three won't be able to come along, but if you know anybody who wants to get more
and
more
it's
information about it,
film,
go to the website sbf.camerapotteries.co.uk. And if you really want to, you can buy an advance ticket using a system provided by me.
Oh, wow.
So I just thought I'd say that. Thank you.
Tell us more about the system.
Good news about
Stephen.
Stoke.
Tell us more about the system.
And I've got Peter on screen now. Is that it?
No, you're still
Not
here.
What I expect.
We're all four on screen at the moment.
Yeah. We're all here, Stephen. We're rooting for you.
You're seeing the mobile view because you're on a...
Turn yourself sideways.
Tabuletto.
So I just got Peter on the screen.
Peter, can you turn
it sideways? You might get landscape.
No, not lean sideways. If Stephen can see you, can you turn his phone sideways?
I'm on a computer.
No. Tell Stephen to turn his phone sideways.
Turn your phone sideways.
Me?
Or your tablet sideways.
Yeah.
Yes, you.
Turn your tablet sideways.
Upside down.
Have you got,
right?
Have you got your tablet set up so you can twist it and it goes with you?
But
it's not working.
Be Live doesn't do
Stephen,
that.
we're going to have to get Be Live to sort this out on an iPad.
Right.
I think you need to get a computer.
Could you ask this Stephen to leave and come back in sideways?
Stephen, so
yeah,
leave and come back in sideways. I've been told to tell you. Leave and come back in sideways.
Right. Okay. Now, if this doesn't work, well, okay. We're waiting for Stephen to return. I know we're coming up to the end of the show, so what's the topic we can use to actually just? Okay, no, not politics, not trade. Done Harrogate. A comment from Claire. And Claire is saying he's only got 3 minutes to get back. Yeah, he's rushing round. Shouldn't be too difficult to actually turn his phone sideways.
For some reason, the clock's 10 minutes fast on this PC.
You see, Solihull's ahead of the world, John.
No, 50 upstairs is the correct time.
Right. Okay. Just whilst waiting for Stephen, quick note. Next week is Be Live TV's 3rd birthday. I'm going to put that full screen for a second. Be Live TV's third birthday from Monday through Wednesday. There are shows every hour of the day, well, most hours of the day. And you can join myself and Brigitte in Cape Town and David in Sarnia, Ontario at 1 p.m. Eastern on Monday in UK money. That's 6 o'clock in the evening. And we are happy to be there and part of the celebrations. And there are going to be all sorts of things announced by BeLive.tv, which I'm really looking forward to because the enhancements are good. Still waiting for Stephen to come back there. Perhaps his phone doesn't work sideways. Don't know. Okay. Right.
He's on his big fancy, super expensive iPad, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a 10-inch iPad Pro.
Yeah.
Which you need a mortgage to buy.
Do you guys sometimes, look, I've got 5 bars here. Do you sometimes get a break in the continuity of your talking?
I've got one tiny little red bar in the corner.
I've got 5 green bars.
I've now got 4 green bars.
No, you are.
Yeah. So is it got to do with the Be Live system or is it the internet?
It's the internet. It's a combination of many things. The ultimate is to have 5 green bars.
I've now got 5 green
It's never going
bars.
to happen. It's never going to happen.
I've got 5.
All right.
But still get you breaking.
Okay. I do hope Stephen comes back. I don't want to frighten him off, but we're coming towards the end of the show. Okay. Perhaps we'll ask him to come in sideways next week. Over to John.
All right. Is it time to go? Well, it's me in the kitchen, which is most unusual. I'm normally in my office. But for some reason, the office computer doesn't want to work with live. It's only been the last 2 weeks. It's been fine previous to that. So it's goodbye from me in the kitchen. It's goodbye from Stephen in the green screen room. And it's goodbye from Peter in his converted garage. And I'll say goodbye from Stokey with the palm trees, etc. I hope that it is new premises as well. So that's goodbye from all of us. And you can see me and Stephen hopefully later today if we can get our technology working.
We have
Okay.
now. You're just going to have to broadcast from the kitchen, John.
Well, no, it is laptop, so I guess I could take it upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll sort it. Bye, everybody. See you next week for episode 198.